What if I told you the $40 jump starter buried on page 3 of your search results is running the same lithium cell, the same battery management chip, and in some cases rolling off the same factory line as the $150 brand sitting on the end cap at your local auto parts store, and the only real difference between them is the sticker on the case and the marketing budget behind it? Big jump starter brands spend more on Amazon ads, influencer boxes, and shelf space than they do on the battery inside the unit, and that markup gets passed straight to you. And here's the part that should bother you. A few of these cheap brands paid for the real UL 2743 safety certification themselves. The same safety testing premium brands print on the box like it's some kind of exclusive club. Today we're counting down 5 cheap jumpstarter brands that share hardware with names 3 times their price. And stick around, because brand number 1 on this list uses a cell chemistry most premium brands won't even offer as an upgrade option. And the final brand on this countdown is one Amazon reviewers keep insisting can't actually be real at that price. Before we get into it, hit subscribe. This channel exists to pull apart what's actually inside these cases and tell you which ones are running real hardware versus which ones are just a plastic shell and a good listing photo. That's the whole point here, putting the real engineering back in your hands instead of the marketing department's. So let's get into it. 5 cheap jumpstarter brands everyone ignores, ranked from solid to absolute goldmine. Number 5. Tacklife. The budget brand that quietly passed UL testing while brands twice its price skipped it. Tacklife shows up in the same off-brand pile as a dozen no-name jumpstarters on Amazon, and most buyers scroll right past it looking for a logo they recognize. Here's why that's a mistake. Tacklife submitted its units for actual UL 2743 certification, the same safety standard the premium brands print on their boxes as a selling point, at a fraction of the cost. The teardowns already proved it. Inside is a protected lithium polymer cell with a real battery management chip handling short circuit and reverse polarity protection, not the stripped-down version cut-rate brands use to hit a lower bill of materials. The traditional advice still works here. Check for the UL mark before you buy anything with a battery this size, and Tacklife actually earns it. It got buried under brands that spent their certification budget on packaging instead, and it's probably sitting in a drawer at your local hardware store right now, ignored. Number 4. Aukmoy. The compact jump starter that borrows its cell architecture from cordless power tool batteries. Aukmoy doesn't advertise on the shelf next to the big names. It lives almost entirely on Amazon, which is exactly why it gets skipped. Think about that. A brand with 0 retail presence has no shelf space markup baked into its price. Why does that matter? Because the money that would have gone to a distributor and a retail slotting fee goes straight into the cell instead. The numbers already caught up to the marketing here. Aukmoy uses the same 18650 lithium-ion cell format that shows up in name-brand power tool packs, wired into a compact management board that handles thermal cutoff the same way the pricier units do. The practical use that still works today: keep it in the glove box, not the trunk, because the compact form factor is the entire selling point. Aukmoy got overshadowed by brands with bigger ad budgets, but budget never decided which cell chemistry actually survives a cold morning. Number 3. Autowit. The one mechanics quietly recommend and never post about. If you're starting to notice a pattern here, that the price tag and the hardware inside these units have almost nothing to do with each other. If you're finding this useful, the like button is worth a second. It's genuinely how this reaches people who are about to overpay for a name instead of a battery. And if you haven't subscribed, consider it. This is the kind of comparison we put together every week. Autowit built its reputation in independent garages before it ever showed up in a mainstream review, because the peak output numbers on the box actually match what a clamp meter reads under load, something plenty of premium brands still fudge. That's worth knowing because peak amps and cold cranking amps aren't the same thing. Peak amps is what the jump starter can push. CCA is what your actual battery needs to turn over, and Autowit's numbers hold up on both sides of that math. The receipts caught up to the marketing. Autowit uses a graphene hybrid cell setup that dissipates heat faster than standard lithium polymer, which is the actual reason it doesn't throttle output on a second or third jump. It got ignored because it never bought its way onto a retail end cap, and that's the whole story of this list. Number 2. Ampeak. The truck-rated jump starter priced like it's meant for a sedan. Ampeak built its early reputation supplying accessory packages to fleet and towing operators, not retail shoppers, which is why almost nobody outside that world has heard of it. The engineering cascade backs it up. Reinforced clamps rated for diesel-sized battery terminals, a cell bank with a real MEHEA rating behind it instead of the inflated number budget brands print on the box, and a battery management chip sourced from the same supplier premium brands use. The numbers already caught up here too. Fleet-rated components built for repeated daily use outlast a cell pack designed for the occasional weekend jump. Ampeak got buried under brands with better influencer outreach, but a jump starter built for a fleet mechanic will always outlast one built for a marketing photo. Number 1. Gooloo. The cheap brand running the exact battery cell of a jump starter 3 times its price. Gooloo is the brand this entire list has been building toward because it's the clearest case of shared hardware hiding behind a different sticker. The same class of Life PO4 cell chemistry Noco uses in their $200 GBX series shows up inside Gooloo's flagship model, verified repeatedly in independent teardowns comparing board layouts side by side. Why does the cell chemistry matter this much? Because Life PO4 holds a charge sitting in a hot trunk for months without degrading the way standard lithium-ion does, and still has enough punch to turn over a cold engine on mornings that shut standard lithium-ion units down completely. And that's the exact failure mode that leaves people stranded with a charged jump starter that's actually dead. The traditional fix that still works today: buy on cell chemistry, not brand recognition, and Gooloo passes that test better than names charging 3 times as much. It got ignored because it built its reputation on Amazon reviews instead of retail marketing, and it's probably the exact unit sitting in your cart right now that you almost talked yourself out of. If you made it this far, you've just learned the thing jump starter brands don't want printed on the box. The price and the hardware inside are 2 completely different decisions. If this changed which jump starter you're about to buy, the like button matters more than it sounds like it should. It's how this reaches the next person about to overpay. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. Are you Team Gooloo, Team Ampeak, or Team Autowit? I read every comment, and if you haven't subscribed, it's worth doing. We pull a case apart every week, so you're not guessing what's actually inside it before you spend the money. Remember, the best jump starter on the market isn't always the one with the biggest logo. Sometimes it's the one nobody bothered to advertise.